Look at that Bear offense. Olin Kreutz the center, Valerio, Rex Tucker the guards, Williams and Brockermeyer the tacklers. Des White, Marty Booker the wide receivers, Fred Baxter the tight end. He was shaken up a bit last week, didn't practice on Friday, but is in the starting lineup today. Shelton and Thomas, the two backs, and Jim Miller.
David Terrell is starting at wide receiver for the Bears.
Right. Miller, first down, complete. Booker. Let's have a look at the Buccaneer defense. By reputation, certainly one of the best. Rice, Sapp, McFarland, and Marcus Jones up front. Brooks, Duncan, and Quarles, the linebackers. Brooks back 100%. Barber, Jackson, Lynch, and Kelly, the secondary. Second and about 5. 4 make it. 3 wide receivers for the Bears.
Marty Booker down here, down below. He's the guy that last game burned the Buccaneers.
Booker. Incomplete.
Well, the Bears are going down the field.
Yep.
We were talking about that, before. The last time they did it was the last time they played the Bucs, and they had success. And then they seemed to get shallower and shallower and shallower, and they were throwing 2-yard passes, 3-yard passes,
sometimes less.
Right, and everyone said they have to get the ball up the field, and you can see that John Shoup, the offensive coordinator, Jim Miller, the quarterback, have agreed with that, and they're starting the game throwing the ball up the field a little.
From the spread formation, Miller, as time goes deep, incomplete, no flag. Des White. Allstott in front of Dunn. Blitz as Brad Johnson lofts it out to Warwick Dunn.
And Brad Johnson starts out taking the beating that he ended up with last week against Detroit.
The Bear front four. They are huge. Traylor and Washington in the middle particularly. Brian Robinson. The 3 linebackers, Urlacher, a star in the making in the middle. Colvin. The secondary, McWaters, Brown, Parrish. Keyshawn Johnson in motion. Warwick Dunn gets the carry. No place to go. Keith Traylor the stop.
Now, here's what I was talking about, Pat. You look at Brad Johnson, the first play, the first pass he throws, he ends up on his back. And as we said earlier, he said that last week was the toughest beating he's ever taken in his life. In fact, he said on Monday he felt that game, last week's game, took a year off his career.
3rd and 7. Johnson out of the spread. The Bears coming on a blitz. Johnson's pass is complete to Carl Williams for a first down for the Buccaneers. Jameel Cook in front of Allstott. Allstott the ball carrier. Lunges for a couple.
Well, that's great noise down there in the pit, isn't it? Yeah. Hear the ball, and all those linemen.
Great if you're not part of it.
No, it'd be great to be part of it. This is really kind of what football's all about, I think. Outdoor, Soldier Field, Chicago. Team against team, players against the elements.
This you think about when you think about pro football. Soldier Field, Chicago.
George Halas.
Gale Sayers.
Walter Payton.
Yep. Allstott has lots of room. Midfield, first down.
And the Bears know that, too, that when Mike Allstott gets the ball, there's not going to be any cutback. He's going to go straight ahead. And you see here, they catch him in a stunt. And you see him on that cross, and they really stunted themselves right out of the hole.
They did.
Allstott, because he's right there. You see, he can see that, and now he's looking at Brown. You see, he's going to make that little cut against Mike Brown so that he didn't take that tackle on square. Sometimes he'll make a cut, and then sometimes he'll take you on big time.
He is deep again, and he gets the carry again. And he's hit. This is Warwick Dunn. Beg your pardon. Behind Allstott.
You know, when you talk to the Bears, they say that they always have to be aware of who's in that tailback position, because if it's done, you don't know where he's going to go, and you always have to be alert for the cutback. If it's all start, you know he's going to go on a straight line, and you don't have to worry about the cutback. Like the nose tackle, Ted Washington, big old Ted Washington, was saying that anytime that Warwick Dunn is back there, you can't cross the blocker's face. There's Ted Washington right there.
Johnson fakes, throws. Keyshawn Johnson makes the catch. Not enough for a first down.
You see R.W. McQuarters, number 21 for the Bears, at corner. He's going to be on Keyshawn Johnson most of the day. Now, that doesn't mean that he covers him all the time, but he's going to go wherever Keyshawn Johnson goes and line up on him. W. McQuarters has really grown up here as a Chicago Bear. He was #1 draft choice of the 49ers, and they kind of gave up on him, and he got a new life here.
3rd and 3. Keyshawn, incomplete. McWaters knew it was coming.
Yep, he played that slant.
Two tight end offense set up for the Bears. Anthony Thomas, the A-Train of Chicago.
Boy, the A-Train right there looked like Walter Payton, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
He took off back there. That's the first time the Bears have run in this game. And you see it's a little deception. You see it's a counter play. He starts to the right, and then they pitch it to him. Then he can pull the right side of his line over to the left and get to that side. You see the pitch? Then you can see the right side of the line to get the blocks there. And a pretty big hole there.
Second at about a foot. Miller's going to throw it, and does throw it, and it's complete to Booker.
I'll tell you one thing about Miller is he does get rid of the ball quickly, and that's the thing. Jim Miller is not going to take a sack. There's nothing here. They get the ball to Booker there. You see Rondé Barber doesn't do that a lot.
No, he doesn't.
Rondé Barber missed the tackle. Booker made a pretty good spin now. I mean, he caught that ball and he immediately pivoted.
Worst and second worst. Don't look for a lot of points in the first quarter. Miller drops it to Dez White. And Dez White runs it down into Buccaneer territory, out of bounds at about the 33.
Yeah, the Bears are starting to get something going offensively, and I swear that the way they started the game, and they threw those deep passes just to let the Bucs know that they're going to do it. Now they have a little momentum going here. They're going to try and keep it up. Now they're going to go no huddle.
Line it up.
First down, they haven't got the sticks moved all the way until they snap the ball and get it out to Marty Booker, and Booker is down for another first down.
They got it going now. I think they were tired of that talk about, you can't do this, you're conservative, the defense is arguing with the offense and so on. They're coming out and taking off today.
No huddle again. Now they call a timeout.
That was a screen pass. You see, you just throw it out there to Booker. Then you have the two blockers right in front of him. One of his other wide receiver and a running back.
Beg your pardon, they didn't call a timeout.
I think what they did is they started to go no huddle and then decided not to and then went back and huddled up.
Olin Kreutz, the center, looked as if he signaled for a timeout. The Buccaneers can't get set. Incomplete, intended for Dez White. 2nd and 10. Miller drops, blitz coming, incomplete. Dez White.
And there's a flag. They're going to get it for a late hit right there.
That's tough. That's a tough call. Here's Anthony Thomas again.
And it's tough against a quarterback like Jim Miller, who gets rid of the ball so quickly, because the rule is after he throws the ball, you can't hit him.
Yep.
And then, boom, that ball is out of there, and you hit him. I mean, 1 second, I mean, you zero in on him, and you go to hit him, and the ball's gone.
And you got him, and you can't stop.
Look at this. Their red zone offense, they've had 29 possessions, 13 touchdowns, 7 field goals.
2nd and 8. Bears just across the Buccaneer 10.
Bears have to keep up that same type of attack.
Here's Miller.
It's legal.
Damon Sheldon. Short of the 5.
This is where the defense argued last week about him, as they wanted to get the ball into the end zone here. Again, getting rid of the ball quickly means that you're going to throw a shorter type of pass. You see, it's off a play fake. Thomas comes in, he fakes to him in the run, and then goes outside to the fullback. Usually what you would do is, when you do have a play fake like that, you would like to get the ball deeper or have someone in the end zone. And on this 3rd down, any receiver has to be in the end zone.
3rd and 4. Miller drops. Taken down the blitz by Simeon Rice. The sack by Simeon Rice. I don't think it was a 5:35 left to play in the first quarter. Bucs have the ball at their own 30.
See defensive end Philip Daniels there with one of those eye shields. We're seeing more and more of those.
Dunn goes in motion. Johnson drops it to Allstott quickly. Right now, Soldier Field, 3-0. The Bears leading the Bucs. Dunn. Close to a first down.
And Warwick Dunn, it's just a matter of time before he breaks one. And while you're waiting for him to break one, sometimes he won't gain any yards. Sometimes he'll take a loss because he does dance in the hole. He does cut back. He does a lot of those things that don't always get you positive yards, but sometimes will get you the big one.
Dunn started to leave the game, then came back. Cook was in the game. Dunn replaced him.
I think this is a play-action fake type of thing here.
Warwick Dunn chased by Urlacher. He got away from him. And that's just an example of what John Madden was talking about, that quickness and speed.
Evan, you get that short yardage and give him that short yardage look, and then you fake to the fullback and you just throw it out there quickly and get him out in open space. He got out in open space against Brian Urlacher. Urlacher misses the tackle. Warwick Dunn gets the first down.
Urlacher doesn't miss many, and he has good speed, but he's not quite quick enough.
But I think you should know that once they put Warwick Dunn in on short yardage, they're going to throw the ball.
This is Allstott, who knocks the pile backwards and gets down to the Bear 44.
Allstott tends to do that, doesn't he? Knock the pile backwards. He's really, they have him as a fullback. We can see that. The rain is starting here, so now we may end up with some quagmire. And whenever you get quagmire, then the big, strong fullback is going to be a pretty big part of it.
2nd and 5.
Holy moly, that was a heck of a play. He looked like he was shot out of a gun. Brian Urlacher. You talk about an athlete. Watch this. He reads this, and he just jumps up and knocks that ball down. That's a way you can either cover him or you can get between the receiver and the ball. They're trying to throw it to Keyshawn Johnson, and Brian Urlacher got between Keyshawn Johnson and Brad Johnson.
Looked as if he knew what was coming. 3rd.
Zach knew where to go.
3rd and 5. Incomplete. Intended for Carl Williams.
Darn near like people gridlock.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a great place. Michigan Avenue, I think, is the greatest avenue in this country.
Thomas just barely gets out of the end zone. Ronde Barber up to help out the front 4.
You can see McFarland and Sapp in there slanting away, and then they bring the blitz from the outside, and John Lynch, number 47, is a strong safety. But when you run and you get in these types of situations, he plays like a linebacker, and the closer you get to the goal line, he plays like a defensive lineman darn near.
Miller getting things underway in a hurry. Gives it to Anthony Thomas again. A little breathing room, not much.
Well, your first goal is to get the ball out to the 5-yard line, because then that means that your punter is going to have the full 15 yards that he needs.
From behind the A-train.
You see, he has to wait a little to get his off guard pulling and his lead block, and he left him. I mean, his right guard, I mean, you saw Chris Valerio pull to the left. He had his lead, and they went to the left, and Thomas just went to the right.
3rd and 9. Miller's going to throw it. James White and Rondé Barber up in a hurry.
Rondé Barber got him that time. Miller ended up. One weather that he hates to play in is rain, and he has it now.
Pump fake, going deep. Picked off in the end zone. Tony Parrish made the interception. The Bucs had the great field position and lost it.
Yep, they got the great field position, and that's one of the things that you do when you get the great field position is you take a shot, but you can't leave the ball up in the air that long. You just see Tony Parrish, he's right here. He's just sitting back there. It gets to be a jump ball, and Parrish out jumps everyone. That is really a jump by Tony Parrish.
Yeah. Yeah. Here is Miller. Looking upfield, incomplete. Des White, the target. Here's Miller back to throw. Under pressure, incomplete. Simeon Rice, 6'5" and 268, and he's not a big guy. Pass complete to David Terrell.
Holy moly, they're hitting down there.
Bodies go flying by the Buccaneers.
You see John Lynch come flying in there?
Yep.
Watch number 57, Ola Krutz, the center. You know that he's going to be doing something.
Big Cat Williams also involved.
Well, they're doing a lot of talking. And whew.
Nice of Chicago pizza.
When in Chicago, do as a Chicagoan.
Allstott gets the carry. There is nothing. Trailer on the stop right now. For another game break, let's go to James Brown in Los Angeles.
Hey, Pat, take a look at the athletic young quarterback for Detroit, Mike McMahon. You've seen him. Look at him drill this one. 69 yards to Scotty Anderson. That was then followed by Mike McMahon. Then on a keeper, he takes it around the pay dirt, and Detroit has battled back on top by the score of 14-7. Back to Pat Summerall and John Madden.
2nd and 11 for the Buccaneers.
We saw that Mike McMahon on Thanksgiving Day, and he's going to be a pretty exciting player.
Carry by Warwick Dunn.
You know, I hope when Detroit went ahead 14-7, I hope they showed a shot of Matt Millen then.
Well,
you know, it's so. I mean, it's tough. I mean, Detroit hasn't won a game, and every time they miss a field goal at the end or someone scores at the end, they show old Matt with his hands, his hands,
yeah.
or something like that. You just wish when something good happens, just give a flicker of them once in a while.
3rd and long.
That's legal.
Johnson incomplete. Walt Harris, the defense.
That loose wheel will leave you.
That's right.
You know, Rondé Barber's having some problems with his hamstring. It looks like he's tightening up a little. They were working on him in that last series.
Anthony Thomas gets the carry.
Hey. This is the thing. If you're going to run, you have to get these 2 tackles blocked. McFarland and Sapp. Booger McFarland, one of the better young ones. Warren Sapp, a guy who has always been around. And you see, they like to do that where they stunt. You know, and a stunt means that the 2 tackles line up in one area and stunt or cross to another area. That time Warren Sapp slanted or stunted right into the run.
Both of them are very quick. Miller fires deep, incomplete. Booker the target for a game break again. James Brown in Los Angeles.
All right, Pat. John certainly knows how much Peyton Manning has been maligned as of late. great decisions thus far. 10 of 14 for 119 yards. That play action pass to Marcus Pollard. And it's the Colts on top. 14-0 back to Pat and John.
Back him up, man, please.
It's the Bears on top. 3-0 at Soldier Field. 3rd and 5 for the Bears.
And Chicago really isn't good on any third down, but they're 0 for 4 today so far on third down.
Miller out of the spread. Where is he going to go? He does get rid of it. Pass incompleted, deflected by Brooks. Only on FoxSports.com. Keyword is Urlacher. Nothing doing for Warwick Dunn as he is chased backwards.
I don't know if you want to get all the way in the head of Brian Urlacher. I was talking to him the other day, and his brother goes to Lake Forest College and lives with him. And he's married and has a 1-year-old daughter. And he said that he and his brother play catch with his daughter.
Play catch with his daughter?
Yeah. I said, well, how about your wife? She said, well, she doesn't mind too much because the baby loves it. But this one in, just throw the 1-year-old daughter back and forth. Middle linebackers do play catch with their daughters.
Brad Johnson throws for Keyshawn Johnson, and it's incomplete. He added it and lost it.
And Mike Brown was right there, number 30. See, that's the thing. I always say, how does a shorter guy defend against a tall guy? This is the way right here. He has to bring it down. And you see, they had him front and back, and the minute that he brings it down. And anytime you throw to Keyshawn Johnson, there's going to be some guys around him. R.W. McQuarters was in front of him. Again, he's a short guy, too. Mike Brown was behind him, and they both teed off on him. Keyshawn Johnson's only caught one pass.
I know. 3rd and 13. The crowd comes to their feet. The Bears are coming on a blitz. The Bucs picked it up for a moment. Pass is caught by Dave Moore, the tight end. Well shy of a first down.
Half of it is wet.
Lynch creeps up, and he's coming around the corner. Pass picked off. It slipped out of Miller's hands. It's Donnie Abraham.
Yeah, I used to have a rule that a center would never snap a wet ball, and you can see that ball. That was a very poor pass.
That's Marcus Jones putting the pressure on Miller. Here's Warwick Dunn. Dunn lunges down to close to the 20.
Yeah, we were talking about Buck ball and Bear ball. Here it is. This is a combination of the offenses. 3 points, yards per play, 3.5, 7 first downs, third down conversions, only 2 for 11, and 8 punts.
Yeah.
And that's Buck ball versus Bear ball in December at Soldier Field with a half-wet ball.
Brad Johnson drops, throws to Keyshawn, and Keyshawn has enough for the first down this time.
You know, here's the job we were talking about, these Bear defenders and the job that they've been doing in pass defense. Excellent all the way. I mean, they have been, talking about blanketing, they have been blanketing these Buck defenders. And anytime Keyshawn gets one, there's going to be a crowd. Although he just did catch that last pass for a first down.
That's 1st and 10 at about the 13-yard line of the Bears. Handoff is to Allstott, who crosses the 10 about the 9.
This is a combination here where they put in Jameel Cook as a fullback and Allstott as a tailback, and really this is the running formation that they've had the most success with. Now you got to get these two guys blocked. And they do. They get a double on both of the defensive tackles. Now, when they double both of the defensive tackles, there better be 3 linebackers and a safety there.
Christie slipped off on Urlacher. 2nd and 6. Allstott got 4. This is Allstott again. Near the 5. Not quite there.
And now the Bucs are going to have to throw one. You know, they always, you think sometimes when you get in the red zone inside the 20-yard line that sometimes you think pass too much, that the successful teams are able to run the ball once they get inside the 20. That's what the Bucs tried to do on first and second down. Now they're in the red zone on third down, and this has to be a passing situation.
3rd and 4. Just inside the 7. Johnson rolling right, looking, and throws it away.
Yeah, I watched the tape. I mean, we both did watch the tape in the coaches' film of their game against Tampa Bay last week, and I'll tell you, they're tough. They're not a soft win.
Thomas.
Only score of 3.
Only got him to tie him. Neither team has been shining on offense. Miller. Incomplete. Almost picked off.
You know what they...
Miller out of the spread. No blitz. But heat nevertheless. And Miller firing deep. Touch. This is going to be a touchdown, maybe. Not quite. Miller scrambled away from the pressure and hit Terrell deep. David Terrell. Down at the 2.
I'll tell you,
Thought he might get in.
This is really something. You're going to see Terrell here. He starts out here, and he goes to the outside. Now he sees the scramble, so he just goes up the field, and Jim Miller hit him perfectly. See, Dexter Jackson got in there right at the end. Watch as Terrell's going in there to score. Watch Dexter Jackson get him right here before he gets there. The official who was ready to get in the way, he went into a slide so he could get out of the way. Remember what happened against whatever those officials did? They did a heck of a lot of talking about it and never did tell us. They're going to keep it to themselves.
Miller tosses back to Thomas. Shoved out of bounds inside the 5 by Dexter Jackson.
One thing about this Buck defense is they're all good tacklers. You know,
they can all run.
Right, they can all run. Their defensive linemen are good tacklers. Their linebackers are good tacklers, and all 4 of their defensive backs are good tacklers. So it's tough. I mean, you think that you like to get to the outside and get, you know, a man-on-man on a little defensive back, but those little defensive backs are very good tacklers.
A lone deep back. Gets the carry. Leon Johnson was the lone back, gets down to the 3.
And that quick defensive back that I was just talking about was Rondé Barber. Did you see him? They had him spread out. Rondé Barber is right up there in the line of scrimmage, and he's going to come in and make the play. You see him right here?
Yep.
I mean, that's where quickness helps. Quickness helps outside, but it also helps inside. You see him there? No one blocks him. He starts in, flattens out, throws that play for a loss.
3rd and goal. Baxter moves. Here's Miller back to throw it. Goes in the corner. Out of the end zone and out of bounds. Booker couldn't stay in.
You know, we just saw Marty Booker make that catch, but watch him in pregame, and watch this. Here's the ball in the air. Now watch this catch. This is the type of thing that when you're a receiver that you practice on. I mean, that thing, one hand, he just put that claw out there and grabbed it, never brought the other hand to it. And here's a touchdown he just caught when it counted, getting both feet inbound.
The Bucs. Brad Johnson drops. Throws it to Dunn. You get a couple, that's all. Allstott, I beg your pardon. Sneak through.
Roosevelt Colvin was right on him. Colvin is a pretty good player. He plays strong side linebacker, and then on 3rd down, he plays defensive end, and he becomes a rush man. So, you know, he kind of plays the run on running downs, and on passing downs, he plays as a pass rusher.
2nd and 9.
But if you're going to run, you got to block these 2 big guys in there if you're going to run inside.
They are a load. Here's Johnson. Incomplete. Headed for all. Third and long out of the shotgun. Looks to Keyshawn, and he's got the first down and more. Keyshawn Johnson still on his feet. Keyshawn fumbles, and the Bears pick it up. And the Bears will have the ball. Tony Parrish picked it up.
Keyshawn Johnson was so big and strong that he got open. He caught that ball. He runs right through Mike Brown. Watch Mike Brown come to tackle him there. He misses him, and then he breaks away. And you just see, how he's swinging that ball out there at the end. Walt Harris comes in right at the end and knocks the ball out with his right hand. Then the Bears bring it back the other way. You're talking, they say the Bears are lucky and all this stuff. I'll say this, I've watched them play a lot of games this year, and they make their luck by doing this, by making hits, by knocking balls out, by doing these types of things. This is Bear football, and that's how they got it. If you're in front of them, they try and rip it out. If you're in front of them, then they try and knock it out by stripping it.
Thomas moves the pile on first down.
Yeah, I think Dick Geron and the Bears feel pretty good right now that they kind of have control of this game, and I would think that they just want to keep the ball, keep the momentum going, just keep pounding. Keyshawn Johnson, you can see, is effective there because he knows that he's the guy, and then, if they need a big play, it has to be him to get it for him. He had a chance to and fumbled it.
Well, he asked for it. He says when we need a big play, get the ball to me.
And he knows what to do with it when he gets it.
Miller back to throw. Incomplete. No one there.
Looked like the umpire was there. The Bears like those shallow patterns, and the umpire, who's the official behind the defensive line, gets in the way of a lot of things that they do.
Well, they run their crossing patterns sometime for no yards, as you pointed out in the opening.
Well, they try and get under everything, including the umpire.
Right.
Olin Kreutz there, the center. I like this guy. I mean, his game, right here. His game is quickness and leverage. Watch how quickly he moves when that ball is snapped.
Miller. Outside to Des White. The Bears will have to.
Head. Well, Maynard got a strawberry on his head from making tackle.
First and 10. Here's Johnson. Drops it to Allstott. Not much there. Urlacher brought him down.
Right after this game, the old cruiser will be going across Highway 80.
Flag on the play. Johnson's got a free one. And Brad Johnson slides after he picks up the first down.
He made a bad decision.
Here he is to throw. Johnson to Keyshawn Johnson. And that's near another Buck first down. Mike Green made the
dry football. Paul Brown, years and years and years
Remember
ago.
we saw one?
Right, he had a thing. It was like a dryer.
It's Keyshawn again from Brad Johnson. Mike Green around his ankles, but they're down to the 26-yard line. A little bit short of a first.
Yeah, here's Keyshawn Johnson right here, just running an out pattern. He knows now when he goes down, he's going to put that thing away.
Second and 1. Blitz, and Johnson goes down. The ball's loose. And the Bears pick it up. Alfonso Boone came up with it.
That's the thing I say again, that the Bears are not lucky, that they make things happen. That they get you in a situation like this and they come on a blitz and they put pressure on you and they slap and they knock the ball out. And that's exactly what Holman did on that play. He knocks it out because they made that happen. Johnson just didn't drop the ball. I mean, they got the pass rush, they put the pressure, they knew what they had to do, and they did it.
And the Bucs twice have had the ball down in a position to go in, and both times.
Warwick Coleman is the first guy in there, and he made a heck of a play slapping that ball out of Brad Johnson's hands.
He did.
15-20-84.
So the Bears take over with less than a minute left in the first. And the handoff is to James Allen. To midfield.
I think they have good field position here. And they need about 20 more yards to get into field goal position.
Miller looking to go up the middle and is up the middle. David Terrell again.
And that's exactly what they had to do. They did take the shot. Now they got their field. Love.
Miller fakes, looks upfield, and throws it out of bounds. The other direction before he kicks Miller. Pass complete to Baxter.
Miller did the right thing. That was a smart thing. That's the old thing. Years ago, Bob Greasy, when he was a quarterback for the Miami Dolphins, if he lost it, he'd always go back and get it. Brockermeyer, got the holding penalty. Now you lose 10 yards. Now go back and get your 10 yards back. And that's exactly what he did here. They lost some field goal position, so go back, get that back, and now go back to work again on the end zone.
27 seconds left. They've still got a chance to take a shot because they have a timeout left.
Right, and they could even throw it in the middle. They don't have to throw it in the end zone.
Because they have that timeout. Here's Miller. Incomplete.
As he's proved a couple times already today.
3rd and 10. Miller drops back to throw it. And the pocket collapses. And Miller's down. That'll make the field goal attempt a little bit longer.
Ball. He was very upset at himself. They're determined to get back in this game throwing, though. Keep an eye on that. Pat?
Well, they start off by running the ball for a loss. Warwick Dunn tackled behind the line by Keith Traylor.
Yep, Keith Traylor will do that. He plays the 3 technique. And we see he's a 3 technique. He's out here. Ted Washington is a 2 technique. He'll usually get the double team and a lot of times free up Keith Traylor. You see, Traylor just splits that. And then he gets in the backfield. He makes a lot of plays like that.
Yeah.
Where that 3 technique is the outside shade of the guard. And when that center goes down to double team Ted Washington, he'll take and hit that gap.
Johnson back to throw it. Throws it up to Warwick Dunn, and he got a couple of yards. That's all. Urlacher slung him down.
And that's where Brian Urlacher is so good, that he has the instincts there, that he's a middle linebacker that can play the run, can play the pass, and can get in a one-on-one situation with a running back like Warwick Dunn and still get him down. I mean, there's a lot of middle linebackers in this league that Warwick Dunn gets the ball. There's no way the guy's going to get a hand on it.
3rd and long. 3rd and 10. Brad Johnson scampers out and throws it out of bounds and away.
And Roosevelt Colvin was the first guy, Pat, there. One thing, they have so much tradition here. I wish they would show it. They used to have the names and stuff up, the flag. They don't have anything. This is very, very stark.
A little gain by Anthony Thomas on 1st down. The offensive picture combined.
Well, again, this is Buck Bear ball. 16 points, 4.7, 13 first downs, 3rd downs, very hard to convert, very good defenses. 10 punts, 4 turnovers, 3, of course, of them by the Bucs that the Bears got. But I was talking about how stark this place is.
Yeah.
You would think that for all the history and tradition and stuff that they would have more stuff here. And they used to have the names of the players and the Ring of Honor and those types of things. They don't have it anymore.
I think they've taken it down in preparation for the refurbishing here. And they're ready.
Yeah, but I don't think they should take it down yet to refurbish.
Well,
I mean,
they have.
Yeah, well, they didn't take any of the advertising down. I mean, all the advertisers there, they're all here. They just don't have any. I mean, where's Dick Butkus? Where's Gale Sayers? Where's Walter Payton? Where's George Hallis? Where's their names?
Mike Ditka.
Mike Ditka, right. Bill George.
3rd and 1.
Rudy Bukic. Sid Luckman.
Rudy Bukic.
Ed Meadows. Ed Country Meadows.
Oh, sure. Ed O'Branovich. Leon Johnson, the ball carrier. tough and durable. Look at this. The A-Train to the Buck 30.
There went a hole there on that left side. He went right behind Blake Brockermeyer and Rex Tucker. You're going to see, here he is. He's going to hit the hole right here. Watch the blocking there. Tucker, Brockermeyer. Oh, Kreutz pulls a little, makes the play. They started to slant. They caught him in the slant, and they just stopped him. They stopped him right in their tracks. They picked up everything, and then Anthony Thomas just ran right through that hole.
21-yard gain by Thomas.
Great blocking by the center and the left side of the Bear offensive line.
Thomas again, this time a yard maybe.
Again, Rex Tucker made a good block. We're talking about how quick Olin Kreutz, gets to his defensive guy. Rex Tucker's the same way. I mean, they're not the biggest guys, but they have very good quickness and they get good leverage. Whoever gets underneath, the shoulder pads that are underneath will always be the winner.
And that's what Kreutz works at.
And most of those guys, because they were wrestlers, Kreutz was a wrestler, and those kinds of guys always are quick and always play with good leverage.
Miller back to throw it. Dumps it up to the tight end, John Davis.
You get quanked in hot weather. You don't get quanked in this kind of weather.
Get what? Miller's sneak should be enough to the first. What's that word?
Quanked, tired. Did you see what Olin Kreutz did there? I think, he says he walks the ball up. Now watch what he does with the ball, but I think he moves this to a first down. You see it? He moved it right there. He got the first down before the ball was ever snapped. He picked it up where it was, and they only had a couple inches to go, and Kreutz moved it up to that position so that all Miller had to do was get it right back where it was snapped.
Which he did.
That's a wily old center, makes moves like that. They always walk up to it and always will do that on short yardage, any good center.
1st and 10, the Bears occupying the clock. Thomas chased down by Lynch.
Lynch is always going to chase him down. Jamie Duncan, the middle linebacker, was there, and that's the thing. When we talked to John Lynch last night, he said the first thing we have to do is stop the run. So if they're going to stop the run, that means a lot of 8-man up. 8-man up means that he's going to be up playing like a linebacker. The Bears knew and expected that, and thought when they do that, they have to get the ball to their outside receivers.
2nd and 8. And they've been able to do that as well. Here's Miller with time. Lofting. Touchdown. Baxter comes down with it.
What a catch by Fred Baxter, the tight end. What a throw by Jim Miller, the quarterback.
Let him make a play.
Fred Baxter's had a bad knee all week. Didn't even practice the other day. But that ball was in there, and look at this. They got a defender in front of him, a defender behind him, and Fred Baxter just goes out and out jumps him. What's Miller? He started to throw it, brought it back, and then threw it the second time.
That one,
he's hurt.
Yeah. Here's Brad Johnson. Warwick Dunn drops the screen pass. Incomplete.
And this Bear defense is getting tighter and tighter on it.
More and more confident. Johnson to Keyshawn. Well, there's your pass over 10 yards.
That's the one that he had to do. Again, he had that big one to Keyshawn earlier, but that was a shorter throw and a longer run. Keyshawn is that big target that you like in the middle, and he's going to always use his body. I mean, he has that rule, ball me defender, that you get between the defender and the ball. And that's exactly what Keyshawn does right there in front of Mike Brown.
And picks up 25 yards. 1st down, Bucs. Keyshawn. This is all stop. And there's nothing there.
We talk about the Bears and all these turnovers they made happen. I mean, they get in there and they knock the ball out. They jump for interceptions. They come in here, they knock the ball out, they slap it out. I mean, none of these things happen where the Bucs just drop the ball. Every one of those turnovers was caused by very good Bear defense.
Meantime, the clock is down to 6:40 in the third quarter. And the Bucs incomplete. Allstott, I believe, was the intended receiver.
Yep, and you see who was right there with him is Brian Urlacher.
Right now they're telling us is an ankle sprain, and that's all. That's bad enough. Incomplete. Intended for Jacquez Green. And Tampa Bay will have to punt.
Flyer.
Well,
that's
too.
That's the biggest little red wagon I've ever seen in my life.
Thomas for a game break again.
Man, good hitting weather, good eating weather. And Randy Moss is still the most dangerous player in the league.
Here's Miller back to throw it. Knocked away. Good defense. Donnie Abraham against Marty Booker.
You know, one of the guys that took a lot of flack this week was John Shoup, the offensive coordinator. And
a lot.
You know, and they kind of blamed him for everything that happened offensively against Green Bay. And I think that, you know, he made a pretty good comeback this week.
Yes, he did.
If you're going to blame him when things go bad, then you have to render unto him when things go well, because I mean, he's a guy that, you know, had to do some things, and so far today has been doing it.
Well, Dick Geron said, the head coach said, hey, this is my offense. Shoup calls him, but I okay him. Down goes Miller. Simeon Rice.
Out of bounds. You get close to a Bear, they're going to knock the ball out of there.
Brad Johnson back to throw. I don't know how that pass was caught by Keyshawn Johnson.
You know, not only that, but that was his 100th catch right there. Watch Keyshawn Johnson here. He's going to run a deep cross, and he just keeps coming. Brian Urlacher was right there, just didn't get his hands up.
Mike Brown is right there.
Yeah, but Urlacher has pretty good position. Brown is at least going for it. Brown's trying to get his right hand in there. Urlacher looked like he felt Keyshawn Johnson and didn't see the ball and went right by him.
Keyshawn made the play. Here's Warwick Dunn from behind by Urlacher.
And I think that's why Keyshawn Johnson has 100 catches this year, is because Brad Johnson has such confidence in him, and you can throw it anywhere. There's Brian Urlacher here. You see, he just gets a good read on that. And he takes on McDaniel, Randall McDaniel, the off guard pulling. He gets in there, takes on the off guard, and then just plays that perfectly.
You know, as long as Warwick Dunn and Mike Allstott have been with the Buccaneers, they've tried to figure out ways to use them at the same time, and it just hasn't worked.
They'd probably be better off if they just had one of them.
To Dunn. Keyshawn Johnson split wide to the right. Brad Johnson back to throw it. Over Keyshawn. He just missed him.
Isn't there?
And no matter what he does, he's not going to look good. Here's Leon, I beg your pardon, Anthony Thomas. And the A train is on track.
He's hit some things there in the left side. I said that Brockermeyer was having some trouble on pass protection, but he's sure doing the run okay. I mean, this is the area that they're going to win. You see Brockermeyer there. He just takes Simeon Rice out, and you see Kreutz come down there. They just kind of zone that thing. The whole line just comes to the left. And any time that you get a big run downfield, you're going to get a block by a receiver. That's exactly what you got there from Des White.
First down Bears, and the clock continues in their favor. Thomas again.
Let's look at Anthony Thomas here. You can see that he's run 8 times to the left for 67 yards. This is really where they've made their yardage today. 3 times in the middle for 3 yards, 3 times to the right for 11. So Anthony Thomas has been getting a major part of his yardage on that left side. Again, behind Brockermeyer, behind Tucker, and with Croots and that zoning and the type of things that they're doing.
2nd and 8.
You can run at Simeon Rice. He's pretty tough to pass protect, though.
They're coming this way. Thomas. Taken down by Brooks.
Rex Tucker's the left guard. He's going to lead this. You see the left guard. He's going to get out here and pull and try and cut his guy. You see right there, you get a lead, then you get him, and he's going to cut right there. But they caught Thomas from behind before he was able to get to his lead blocker.
3rd and 8. James Allen is the deep back this time, the better pass receiver. And the fake is to Allen. He's chased by Rice. The pass is incomplete. Knocked away as Miller took a hit from Simeon Rice. Here's the spread formation for Brad Johnson. This time he has time, but the pass is deflected by the Bear defense.
Look at this Bear defense today, Pat. Only allowed 3 points, 4.2 yards per play. Had 4 3-and-outs. 3rd down, their defense. They've only converted 2 out of 11. The Bucs have. They've had 3 takeaways. And that's big down there. They've only missed 3 tackles.
That's very big.
And that's the thing that they've done so well today in all areas, not only on defense, but on special teams, is tackle.
Here comes the blitz. Johnson steps up. Incomplete. Coverage was good.
Working on the old center.
3rd and 10. Time and incomplete. Ooh.
We got that speech about 3 hours ago.
Yes. Here's Miller back to throw it. Chase gets it to Anthony Thomas. Anthony
Thomas looks like he's getting stronger and faster and more confident as this game goes on, doesn't it?
No question about more confident.
I mean, he came around that corner and squared those shoulders and got that thing turned upfield.
94 yards, 17 carries.
This is the way you're supposed to run it. Now get your shoulder square right there, and then get the shoulder square and then turn upfield and run over anything that gets in your way that has a white jersey on.
1st down, Bears. Miller. Thomas over 100 yards now.
Yeah, this is when an offensive line always feels good. You know that you have control. Watch, they catch him in a slant. You see the Buck defense is all slanting that way. They got them all going that way. They get the ball this way and then bring it back. You see, they got them all slanted that way, and then the defensive backs on that backside have to make the play.
1st down at the 20.
He just broke that thing right away from the slant.
110 yards and 18 carries for the deep back. And the A-Train.
He is getting stronger. Look, 83 of those yards in the 2nd half.
Another carry. Not much there.
Oh, Fred Baxter, you see, he has that blue jersey. On the back of his jersey is blue. That's from that touchdown.
He landed on the Bear helmet, but painted in the end zone.
Right. Yep. And it's not only the back of his jersey, it's also the back of his arm. Look at that left elbow. That's going to be something. Maybe you don't even want to shower that off, because that was a big touchdown for the Bears. And it was a great catch by Fred Baxter.
2nd and 9. Thomas met in the hole by John Lynch. Here's the touchdown catch.
And this is why Fred Baxter got that blue jersey and blue left elbow.
And blue pants.
But what a great catch, though. That may want to be a memory that he wants to keep. You make a memory, then you keep a memory, and this Bears team today is making a memory. If they win this, they clinch. They have a berth in the playoffs. They'll be the second team. The Oakland Raiders clinched yesterday.
James Allen is the deep back, and he gets the carry. And Allen slips to his left a little bit short of the first, it appears.
Like it could be his left shoulder, but he's not hurt. He should be in there.
Anthony Thomas, touchdown.
Like I said earlier, Anthony Thomas not only looked like he's gotten bigger and stronger, but he's gotten faster in the second half.
He has.
Of course, part of that is they've worn down this Tampa Bay defense.
Yep.
Tampa Bay's a little undersized, has great speed, but this Bear team has worn down that defense. They've whipped them. They've whipped them at the line of scrimmage, and they've whipped them with their speed, with their running backs.
Well, they've been on the field and all.
One time per game.
Brad Johnson back. Incomplete. Deflected at the line of scrimmage.
In the game, back to Pat and John.
11:09 left here. Johnson back to throw. Dumps it to Dunn. Warwick Dunn finally breaks for some yards. Mike Brown made the stop.
Yeah, you look at the beating that Brad Johnson, we talked about how tough it was last week against Detroit. But look in the last two games. 23 hits, 31 hurries, 3 interceptions, 1 fumble. I mean, he's
hard way to make a living.
Like I said, after the Detroit game, he felt on Monday that took a year off his career. The Bucs are going no huddle now.
2nd and 4. Deflected. Brian Robinson got a hand up.
And football is good, and football is fun.
That's legal.
Johnson retreats and throws, and caught by Warwick Dunn on his knees, hit by Mike Brown.
What a tackle by Mike Brown. Mike Brown knew that Warwick Dunn didn't have the first down. He said he's going to be right there. He's wide open. No one covers him. He has to come back for the ball. Now he goes up, and Mike Brown puts a square hit on him. And there's no way that he's going to get the first down.
Again, the rush.
Yep, Roosevelt Colvin was the guy that put the pressure on Brad Johnson. Brad Johnson's been spending a lot of time in that position.
Big 4th and 2. Johnson. Incomplete. Urlacher knocked it away from Dunn.
Well, you expect Brian Urlacher to do that. He's been all over the place today. I mean, every time they've tried to throw to Warwick Dunn or to Mike Allstott, Urlacher has been right there. Watch him extend and get out and knock that ball down with his left hand. And it's important to be peaking at the end of the season. The Bears seem to be doing that.
Here's Anthony Thomas again. A Bear first down to the 40.
Anthony Thomas looks like one of the top backs in the NFL the way he's running now, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
But this offensive line has control. I mean, they have control of everything. Look, you don't see a white jersey around him. That whole thing is all bunched up in there, and that's caused by good blocking.
I remember another great Bear running back who doesn't get mentioned very much who wore that same number. Yeah. Rick Caceres.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Neil Anderson.
Well, that's another one.
Yeah. Look in the second half, Anthony Thomas, 102 yards, 7.3 yards per carry average. That's some running.
This time, no gain.
Okay,
I looked down on the Bear sideline. I was just seeing Danny Werfel down there, the third quarterback, and every time I see Danny Werfel, I think of that one play. Remember when he got his helmet? There's Danny Werfel right there. He's the third quarterback.
Well, look at this.
And we always carry this around. Here he is playing for the Saints. Now watch his helmet. I think this is impossible. He got his helmet spun all the way around, where the front's in the back and the back's in the front. And he can't find where his face is or anything. He can't.
It's dark in there.
That's one of the most amazing things that I think I've ever seen in football. You?
Yep. Anthony Thomas again. Ryan Urlacher.
Yep, there's a guy
He is. That's a name you, barring injury, over time he's going to be pretty close to being as good as has ever been.
Yeah, you just look at that head, and that's a head that was made to be a middle linebacker. Although in college at New Mexico he was a safety.
Yeah. And also played some offense in college.
But you know, he's going to be a great middle linebacker, and for a long time. I mean, he has the size, the strength, the speed. He has everything, you know, and he just loves to play football. I mean, he doesn't get carried away by this stuff.
Miller looking and throwing and incomplete to Baxter.
It would be about a 49-yard field goal attempt. This may be one of those things where you just try and draw them off sides.
Could be. Nope. Leon Johnson is the running back, and I'm not sure he got it.
I don't think he did. Clinch a playoff today.
Historic Soldier Field. Warwick Dunn. And he fights for a first down.
You know, during the break here, they were advertising. You talk about historic Soldier Field, that they're selling the seats here.
Yeah.
And you can call some number and buy a seat at Soldier Field. I think I'd like to buy one or two.
Well, you got one from RFK Stadium.
Yep, from old RFK. I would like to get one from old Soldier Field too. We talk about
Dave Moore takes it from Brad Johnson. 2nd and 1.
Buccaneers haven't been scoring a heck of a lot, have they?
No. Ooh, is that close by R.W. McWaters intended? Let's quickly go to a game break.
Pat and John, Detroit fighting and clawing as usual. Go-ahead touchdown here by the fullback, Corey Schlesinger. 27-24 Detroit. And then the Jets hold on to their wild card spot after trailing 14-3. The go-ahead touchdown Testaverde to Anthony Beck. The Jets win it by 1. Back to Pat and John.
It's that time of year when every game becomes more and more important. Playoffs approaching. And this pass is intercepted by McWaters.
McWaters has done a heck of a job. He's down, but changing up the defenses, and the Bucs never did get him figured out.
Anthony Thomas rolls for 8 more yards. And the clock continues to run. Less than 6 minutes. And the Bears, you miss the Bears not being in the playoffs.
I know. I mean, it's nice when the Bears are. I mean, you just get. I spent a lot of time here in Chicago, and when the Bears are in it, the fans. I mean, everyone is a Bear fan here. I mean, old people, young people, little kids.
Yep.
I mean, the whole thing, and they really do get behind their teams here.
They may have converted you, as a matter of fact.
I love Chicago. I mean, I think this is one of the great cities in our country.
Well, next, you're home and bus. You probably spend more time here than anywhere.
I did this year.
Thomas again.
There's no way that they thought that Chicago was going to hang this one up.
Here's the A-train again. And Tampa Bay's remaining schedule. They can still make the playoffs, but look what they've got left.
Well, some point you have to win too. I mean, they had won 3 straight coming into this game, and they get a pretty tough one hung on them here. And then, as you say, this is. But if you don't win those games, if you can't beat the Saints, if you can't beat Baltimore or Philadelphia, or win 2 out of 3 of them, or you don't belong in the playoffs anyway. I mean, that's why you play regular season games to get in the playoff. If you lose in the regular season, you don't get in the playoff.
And it doesn't start in December. It starts way back.
Oh, and the Bears are 10-3.
Thomas
Thomas, if he doesn't watch out, he's going to gain 200 yards today.
If he keeps going, he is.
Well, that offensive line, again, I get back to that they've won that battle. I mean, this group right here in that zone type of thing, watch Kreutz there, what he did to his guy. I mean, they've just taken over, and they're controlling this game. Watch Olin Kreutz here. I mean, he just fires out, gets on Jamie Duncan, and just takes him where he wants to go, right to the ground.
Warren Sapp, is on the sideline with a bad shoulder. His place has been taken by James Canada. Sapp won't be back.
No, heck no, he took the shoulder pads off. I saw a shot of his pads and his jersey sitting there.
They need one. And Thomas, I believe, got it.
Well, they had 9 guys up in the line of scrimmage on that one. There's Brian Robinson, who just signed a big contract this year. The Bears figure that they have to start getting some of these guys, these core guys, for long-term contracts, and they figure that Brian Robinson is one of their important guys. So they signed him. I think he got like a $5 million bonus. Yeah.
5-year contract, too.
Yeah. I mean, he got 5 heavy right up front.
5 heavy. I like it, yeah.
$1 million is heavy.
A couple of jukes and he gets across the 30.
This has to be fun for him, though. I mean, when you get a little dirt and mud on you and you're playing like this and your offensive line has control. Look at Big Cat Williams. Oh, Big Cat coming around the corner. He picks one off for you. It just has to be fun to run in this.
Bewildered.
Well, we said the Bucs had a run today. They only ran for 61 yards. The Bears have run for 202 yards.
Anthony Thomas
at about 205 yards now.
Yep. The Bears with the win today, and we have given that to them. Clinch a playoff berth. Green Bay plays Tennessee later on. Tampa Bay is still not out of the picture, but they're 7-6. They have to win all the 3 remaining games, it appears, depending upon what else happens. And anything this year can happen.
Yeah, and when the Bears can play here, I mean, you can tell that this team was just built to play on grass in Chicago and weather, and this was a Bear type of game today. I mean, a very solid offense, a good running game, get big plays when you need them.
Technical producers Bob Mueller. The pregame show was produced by Scott Ackerson, directed by Bob Levy. The senior producers Bill Brown. The executive producers of Fox Sports are Ed Gorin and David Hill. We also want to wish Mike Nathanson, one of our crew, a very, very speedy recovery. And the Bears, time to dance.
You keep playing, and early you win a few games, and they say you're lucky, and then the expectations get high, and then they lose one to Green Bay, and it was a tough loss for the Bears and the fans, and they came back. I mean, they bounced back today, and they played as well as I've seen a Chicago Bear team play in a long time.
Indeed they did. Jim Miller been under fire a little bit. John Shoop's been under fire. They both performed very well. Shoop the coach, Miller the quarterback. The Bear team did very well.
Yep, and there's Big Cat Williams, and that offensive line was so big in this win that they controlled that line of scrimmage. You talk about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and their defensive line, their quickness and speed. They were beaten today.
This is Pat Summerall for John Madden and Ron Pitts saying so long from Chicago, where once again the final score is Chicago 27, Tampa Bay 3. Be sure to stay tuned to the Fox Sports for the second game of our doubleheader right after these messages. For more information on today's game and the latest NFL news, log on to foxsports.com, the official sports site of the Internet.